Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, I do all kinds of vlogs, motherhood videos. I just found out, well, a few weeks ago now, but I just told you guys that I am now expecting baby number 2. Another thing that I'd like to share with you guys is our budgets and what we're planning for the month ahead. I'm still rethinking how I'm going to do these videos moving forward because I'd like to kind of combine them with my goals, but I think for this month I'm just going to go with the regular version of just showing you what my budget with me looks like for September. Things could change. It's literally only August 6th right now as I film this, but I'm trying to get ahead on videos just based on like the amount of time that I have right now with stuff. So wanted to share this with you. Things could always change, and if you have other YouTubers that you enjoy their videos and how they show you like a monthly reset, or if you have any things that you would prefer to see, let me know. I'm thinking of like refiguring how I do my goals and like kind of combining that into our budget. I would still do the budget recap at the end of the month because I think that's interesting to see like what we actually spent. But I feel like for the most part, my budget with me doesn't change too much month by month unless we have something crazy going on. So I think I could kind of wrap this up a little shorter in with some goals and other types of reset content. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Why don't we jump into the September budget, what I'm planning, what's kind of coming up in the next couple of months that I'm planning to budget for. Okay, so I'm actually gonna write something in budget, a few options. Okay, just added in some stuff over here on the side, so hopefully in editing I have my picture somewhere else so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But I've been trying to fill out this up and coming. I feel like we just naturally spend more at the end of the year. Tell me if you're like this too. I think we all probably do with like the holidays, whether it's decorations or buying gifts. I know we have 2 birthdays in September. My sister and Ivy's birthday is in December. Christmas, November is Thanksgiving. October is Halloween. What? Did y'all just hear my closet? Is there a ghostie in there? No ghosties allowed. I just feel like the rest of the year it's a little bit crazy, plus with a new baby coming at the beginning of 2024, there's probably some stuff we're gonna have to buy that we either got rid of after having Ivy because it was like not good, or we just want to repurchase. I can do a video on that if you guys are interested in the things that I want to repurchase and or buy new ones of. For example, like we got rid of our bassinet because the one we had was kind of not great and I would like to get a better option. And then there's like other things that we would like to repurpose for a new baby, but a lot of the stuff we'll be keeping. Anyway, I can talk about this in a whole different video. But a couple of things in my up and coming that you can see. Ben should be getting a cash grant in September. I don't budget that into our actual budget, but that'll go directly into our savings account. So I just want to put that there so I remember that it's coming. It comes like mid-month. I'm thinking of throwing myself a baby sprinkle in October, just because when we threw our baby showers, I didn't live here and my sister threw me like a beautiful baby shower up north where I am from in Wisconsin, and it was like wonderful. But a lot of people actually still haven't met Ivy, just because even though I live in Illinois, like a lot of my family lives in like northern Wisconsin, so it's still like a 4-hour drive. So she hasn't really met anybody. So I thought it'd be fun to do like a sprinkle to celebrate baby 2. If people want to bring a gift, I'm gonna make like a small registry with a couple of the things I was mentioning that I would like to repurchase or get new, but I really don't want like clothes or books or anything like that. Like we have way too much stuff. I might throw a baby sprinkle, and because it's a sprinkle versus a shower, which if you don't know, that's what a lot of people call, like if you have a baby shower for a 2nd or 3rd or 4th baby or whatever, they call it a sprinkle. Like I probably wouldn't do all the crazy shower stuff, but I would like to do like a little get together type thing for both of our families and maybe a couple friends in the area. We have a fairly small house, so our backyard is huge though, so we could do it in the backyard, but again, with it being in October, that might be really hard, so I've got to figure that out. Anyway, I'm hoping to do it in October, maybe early October, not sure. I haven't figured that out yet, but I do need to figure that out in August. I have that on here because it's something that I'll probably start spending and wanting to save for. Black Friday's in November, and anything that I don't get for baby from the baby sprinkle, I'll probably purchase on Black Friday because there's usually deals on baby stuff. So, you know, again, if we need like a bassinet or a new Snuggle Me lounger or a new snot sucker or something like that, we can get that via some Black Friday deals. And then if there's anything else that we need, I just want to make sure that we're prepping for that. My sister's birthday is in December, Christmas obviously, and then Ivy's birthday is at the very end of December. And then there's a bunch of stuff obviously happens in early January with my birthday and the new baby coming in at some time in the first couple months of the year. So that'll all be involved in my later budget. It feels weird to talk about that stuff in the beginning of August, but now that I'm expecting in early 2025, I'm like thinking about all this stuff. And then something else I put here, Ben and I need to just make a couple of budget options. We did this before we moved to Raleigh just to see like what we needed to do before we moved to Illinois, in order to see like what we needed to do and to be able to afford to move back here, because A, moving is expensive, and B, it's really expensive to live in Illinois versus Raleigh. We need to do that again. I can do again a whole other video about this. We have found some possibly concerning news about, I think I've told you guys in other videos that both Ben and I were tested like ourselves and came up positive for mold toxicity, SIRS, stuff like that. We've now tested some rooms in this house and there does appear to be mold. We don't think that it's black mold, but mold is mold and some people are more susceptible to getting sick from it than others. So we're trying to figure out what to do because we don't really trust that our landlord would do the remediation in the way that we would prefer for it to be done. So we're trying to decide. There's a couple of options, like, do we need to move out of this house now? Or like now as in the next couple of months, what would that look like? A lot of places are really expensive to live here. Our place is already at the top of our budget. What could that budget look like? Moving somewhere else outside of Illinois that's less expensive. That probably wouldn't happen until June of next year, and that would mean that we would stay here. Again, I could do a whole video on this, but we need to make a budget kind of showing what that could look like, and then a regular budget just staying in this house. Because mold aside, if you guys didn't know, we're losing these Beacon payments from the business that Ben was bought out of at the beginning of next year, right around the time that baby is due. So that's almost $1,000 a month that we make from that, and we are already fairly tight. We're able to put a good amount in savings, but we're fairly tight with those payments living here. You know, I might have to start working more, which means we'd need to find more help for 2 kids. So anyway, we just need to like budget some stuff so we can figure out what that looks like, what we can afford, what we can't afford, and what like realistically makes sense for us financially. Like not even thinking about where we want to live, but like where can we live financially. So I need to make a couple options. Okay, moving on to the actual budget now that I've talked for 10 minutes about up and coming. Income, my income should be more in September, which is good. Ben's income will be the same besides like the cash grant, but again, I don't budget that because I just put it directly in savings. It just goes directly in our savings account, I should say. Previous month's rollover, we probably won't have one because I'll probably move everything to savings, and then I leave miscellaneous if we get like gifts or like, I don't know, a payback from insurance or something. So we're anticipating having a little bit over $10,000 in income. These are all the same if you watch all of my videos. We don't have to pay renter's insurance in September. Ben now has a budget line item during football season for his fantasy football stuff. And then Pilates. This is probably gonna get canceled sometime. I need to figure that out, but not yet. Internet, hopefully Ben figures this out so I don't have to keep budgeting that much money for it. And phones, okay, everything else is normal in my business. I did up the miscellaneous category because I count that for like coffee shops, and since I'm no longer in the depths of first trimester and I can drink a little bit of coffee again, I probably will start working at coffee shops again. So I want to budget about 1 coffee a week to go and do that. Planning on spending about $3,300, $3,350 in fixed expenses. our debt is normal. We're not currently putting anything extra toward debt. We're putting it all towards savings. Speaking of savings, we're thinking of separating our savings into one account for savings and one account for a house fund, like for whenever we do purchase a house, which probably won't be, I mean, the earliest would be next year, but probably won't be. It might be even further than that. What do you guys think about that? Do you think like our savings accounts both have the same amount of interest? Say we had $200 to put towards savings and we put 100 towards savings or 100 towards house, or 1 month we put 150 towards house and 50 towards savings or whatever. They're both technically savings accounts. Obviously, if something dramatic happens, because it's just a savings account within my Ally account, we could easily pull the money from the house account if we needed to. But I'm just wondering if having the two separate accounts would just almost like make it more enticing to save more for the house. I feel like building our savings account has been really exciting. I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Then moving on to variable expenses. Everything is pretty normal here. I'm trying to see if anything, I think I upped personal spending. I had that like that because of something from August actually. So I put it back down to 150 because I don't think we would actually need that much. But maybe I'll put, oh no. I know, I'll put it here. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute. I gotta sneeze. Doctors, I'm still leaving high just because things are gonna be kind of all over the place. 250 for utilities, 100 for car, 250 for the dogs, 100 for miscellaneous. So that's pretty typical, 4150 in fixed expenses. So what I just did with that additional money, I put $200 here because I think that I'll probably start purchasing things or like invites or things like that for the sprinkle in September. So I just put a little bit more in there. It's Ben's mom's birthday and my dad's birthday. I probably won't spend much on those. Neither of them are big gifts people, so there's no use in buying them like a big gift when they don't really care about gifts. However, especially like I love my dad to death, but Ben's mom basically gives us childcare 1 to 2 days a week for free. Usually 1 day a week. And Elizabeth also gives us 1 to 2 days a week or parts of a day for free. So when it's their birthday or like things like that, I want to like do something a little bit special for them since they are so helpful for us. So like maybe we'll take her out to lunch, or I don't know, give her something that she can go and like get her nails done or something like that. So probably we'll spend a little bit on her, and then like I said, baby sprinkle stuff. I have savings that's just at whatever, so I could zero out my income. So I'm assuming about $754.19 in savings. That's again without the like $700 we'll get from our cash grant. So you'll see that at the end of September, early October, what we actually paid. And that's one thing I've had people before be like, no, like whatever you budget for savings, you should immediately put in your savings account. Totally understand that. We don't do it that way because I basically do like what we have left over at the end of the month because we're not super strict. I do think, like I was talking about here, with some of our budgets needing to change, we might have to be a little bit more strict with that. So like say we always put $100 in savings at the end of the month. So at the beginning, I will put in $100 a month, and then if we have anything additional at the end of the month, we'll put it towards savings. Maybe that'll change once things are a little bit tighter, but for now, this works for us without making it feel like we're super tightly bound by a budget. If you guys didn't know, we used to like barely make it by without credit cards. Like, I mean, I'm talking like putting doctor's appointments and groceries on credit cards because we literally couldn't afford rent here in Illinois, plus like our regular expenses based on like how little money we were making at the time. While I think there's a time and place for really strict budgeting, that just was so hard on our budget, or so hard on our marriage, so hard on us personally, hard on our health, hard on our mental health, that we really don't want to get in that situation unless we absolutely have to. Obviously, if we have to, we will, but if we don't have to, I'm not going to put us through that. That's another reason that we're kind of looking at these budgets now and what makes sense, because we just don't want to live a life where we're scrounging pennies at the end of the month. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was a long-winded excuse for why I don't put our savings in until the end of the month. I'm planning on putting about $630 away for my taxes. I just keep a savings account for that. It's a high yield savings account, so I make interest on it, and then when we do our taxes, if I owe anything, because my business is, I do freelance, so I don't pay taxes when I invoice, so I have to pay taxes at the end of the year. Say if we owe $1,000, I will then take that out of my savings account, and anything extra I will put into our personal savings account. And I say that because I get taxed on it anyway, so there's no use in leaving it in a work savings account, especially because I'm not like trying to grow this big business. I'm not like, you know, creating a business. I'm just doing freelance writing. Maybe if it gets back to the point where I'm like creating a business and I want to do things like update my camera, things like that, I'll start keeping a savings account for that, but we're just not currently there. And then all of these subscriptions do not renew in September. Not planning on going anywhere. So planning to spend about $15.84 in miscellaneous, most of that being savings. So that is how I'm budgeting our $10,000 income this month. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I should say, since I babbled for like 1,000 years on this one, if I was doing a reset, this would be a much shorter clip, but since it was, I had time to talk to you, apparently I wanted to talk to you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.